Welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabs. This is the Theinkbunnie. And this is 2025. While I am incredibly disappointed in who America voted for in 2024, I am determined to do the only thing that my black ass has to do. Stay black and die. So, I'm not going to let them get me down. I'm not going to stress over their stupidity. We told them what was going to happen. And when it happens, all I got to do is sit there and say, I told you so. And hopefully I'm still living to do it. So now that that's out the way, let's talk about books. Because that's what we do on this channel. We don't catastrophize about politics here. We definitely don't do that. Not us. Okay, so 2025 is here. I made it another year. I got more books to talk to you about. I finished a couple of books leading up to 2025, like the last 3-ish days. I finished All Tied Up by John Patrick Green. This is the second to latest Investigators. This one's really cute. I gave this 5 carrots. It's about a cruise ship that goes missing and a ghost pirate that wants his due. And then I finished the first spin-off, Agents of Suit, which features Cilantro the Chameleon. I gave this 3.5 carrots. It was cute, just not as cute as that one. It's about aliens. Then after that, I read both 2 and 3 of Sir Ladybug. I gave 2 3.5 and 3 5 carrots. I don't think this series will continue, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just really love Sir Ladybug as a character. And then the last book, that book 3, Sir Ladybug and the Bookworms. That was the last book that I finished in 2024. The first book that I finished in 2025 is the second in the spin-off series Agents of Suit, From Badger to Worse, and this follows Marsha and Bongo. Yeah, Marsha and Bongo. They're little hoity-toities, but it was still a fun time. They get shipped off to this island that they think is a vacation, but it's a mission, and there's a rocket and crazy tasting honey. It's just a wild ride. I think I gave this 4 carrots. It wasn't bad. The last thing that I finished, which was earlier today, is Class Action, which is the latest Investigators series entry. I gave this 5 carrots. It's very cute. They have to go back to school undercover because there's a conspiracy where school mascots are being kidnapped, and they get sent to look into it. It's very, very cute. I think I'm gonna give this one 4 carrots. It wasn't my favorite, but it was still pretty good. So those are all the things that I've read so far. And I stopped by Walmart a couple of days ago on a lark. I think we were there for something, but honestly, I do not remember what we were there for. But I found this. And I've been wanting to read Belladonna for a while, and it was discounted, so I bought it. We're going to open it together, and I'm going to show you how pretty they are. I'm thinking about investing in a gimbal for my camera so that like it can move up and down. So you can see the stuff that like you can't really see from my camera just sitting on its tripod. So this is it out of its wrapping. This is what the covers look like. Those are the spines. It's got its own little box. But the reason I bought them was because the insides were prettier than anywhere else. So, the first book in the series is called Belladonna. All of these are really thick. Like, what's the font look like? Oh, it's kind of small. Lord have mercy. So this is what it looks like. Those are your end pages. But this is why I bought it. This is what it looks like. Look at that. So this is Belladonna. This is Foxglove. And this is Wisteria. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So, I have continued on my pretty book phase. And it just kind of like makes me want to read them more now. One, because I own them, so I'm not in any rush, but also just because they're so fucking pretty. Like, oh my god. They're so pretty. So yeah, I also decided that I was going to do something new in 2024, or in 2025, and that is to bullet journal my book reviews. So originally I was just writing them down in this journal. Like, these are my thoughts about the books that I read. But this year, I've decided that I want to try something a little different. And I'm going to bullet journal my book thoughts. So, it's the 3rd day of January. I got a fresh journal. I'm done my own little 2025 spread. I've got a setup for monthly favorites and yearly goals. I'm not going to show you that. And then I have these little pages here with the information of the book, just like my other journal. And then I'm going to have pictures of the covers, and then my blurbs and like stickies and ephemeras and things that like remind me of the book, so that I have something a little bit more scrapbooky to look at for the future. So this is the book journal for 2025, and I'm hoping that we are successful in using that. Stopped by the library because Boy Wonder had some books that needed to go back. And because I just have no self-control, even though it's a new year and I promised myself I'd be better about that, I got some books. Excited. So when I first started looking at the books, I was like, oh, I'm doing a good job. Some of these books are really small. And then that just kind of went out the window, and now I've got a bag full of books. Interestingly enough, I hopped on Goodreads a couple of days ago, and it said that I was currently reading Seasick by Kristen Cast and Pintip Dunn. However, I don't own that book. I didn't get it from the library. I have no idea how it got there. But when I opened it to look at it, I was like, oh my god, that looks so fun. Like, that looks like something I definitely want to read. And then lo and behold, it was at the library. So I picked it up. And this is essentially about a group of kids on a yacht and people die. Don't need much more than that. The next thing that I picked up is also YA. It's called Rest in Peaches by Alex Brown. And the front says Murder, Mayhem, and Mascots. I don't need much more. But on the back, blurbed by Trang Tan Tran. I think that's how that's pronounced. If not, I do apologize. It says the perfect teen slasher, bloody, laugh out loud funny, and with a mascot destined to join classic horror icons. Readers were tailed through this book in one sitting. Love it. I love a good slasher. I love a good funny horror. I'm so here for this. Woo. The next thing that I picked up is The Midnight Club by Margot Harrison. And this I actually took out from the library a couple weeks ago, but it was during my trying to binge my 24 for 24, so I never really picked it up, opened it, or touched it. And then it was here on the shelf because I had to send it back and somebody had it on hold, so I wasn't able to do it. And here it is. So I picked it up. This is, yeah, it's like a college reunion. Yeah. 4 friends, a campus reunion, a dark new way to relive the past. So, excited about that. And then these are my 2 shorties. I got Coup de Grace by Sophia Ashram. No Hope, No Exit. I think that this is like horror poetry. Like a novella. It's super short. And this is definitely a new genre for me, so I wanted to pick it up. And then I picked up The Dead Cat Tail Assassins by P. DeJelly Clark, because I said if I came across another Clark, I would pick it up, because Master of Jinn was amazing. And I did. This is its cover. And Evine the Eviscerator is skilled, discreet, professional, and here for your most pressing needs in the ancient city of Tal Abisi. Her guild is strong, her blades are sharp, and her rules are simple. Those sworn to the matron of assassins, resurrected, deadly, wiped of their memories, have only 3 unbreakable vows. 1. The contract must be just. 2. They only kill the contracted. And 3. Once you accept a job, you must carry it out. So I have high hopes about this one. I'm thinking that it's going to take a little bit of a, like, wanted turn, and maybe whoever is in charge of choosing who dies shouldn't be. I'm not sure. But I'm here for the blackness, I'm here for the queerness, and I'm here for the murder. So, sounds like a good time for me. And then I only have 1 book left, and it's something completely different from what I normally read. I think that this is literary fiction, which I don't think I've ever picked up before, not, like, knowingly. And it's called Mrs. Death, Mrs. Death. And essentially, it's about Death herself, and she's tired, she wants to take a load off, and she meets this writer, and she tells him about her life. And it looked really interesting to me, so I picked it up. It's actually the last book that I picked up from the library, so it might have been like a toss-up, but now that it's here, I'm excited. Also, Death is a black woman, so don't need more than that in 2025. I'm here for all of the blackness, the queerness, the womanness. I'm here for it all. So, this is the first clip of 2025, and hopefully I will be back shortly with either some finished books, some more books, or just some more action. I've decided to make myself a small set of goals for the year, and one of them is to bring my camera with me more. I want to film more. Even if I don't plan on using it, I want to use it more. I want it to always be on me. I want to take more pictures. Life is too short. You never know when it's going to be over. I want to take more pictures. I want more evidence that I lived a life. Like, this video is kind of dark. Like, I'm not down. I just don't want to miss opportunities, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I'm excited for 2025. Leave in the comments down below what you're excited about in 2025, and I will see you in the next clip. Sleuth out! Hey, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the new year. I know I look a mess. It's late. I'm sleepy, but I gotta get this off my chest before I forget it. So, the last video that went up was everything that I did in the month of December. Well, I've got a stack of books here to talk to you about for what I've read for the new year. We're going to talk stats. We're going to talk what I'm currently reading. We're going to talk my plans for the channel and all of that good jazz. So, here goes nothing. Bear with me. So, welcome back to the Theinkbunnie. If you're new here, I'm Gabs. If you're not new here, you know, welcome back. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Okay, so here's the books that I finished so far in the year. I finished Catwoman, One Bad Day, part of the One Bad Day, like, one-shots for Batman. Gave it 3 carats. It was okay. It was almost too short. Wish it had been longer. I finished The Baker Street Peculiars by Roger Landridge, Andy Hirsch, and Fred Stressing. This is a graphic novel about 3 street urchins who start solving a case for Sherlock Holmes. It was cute, but I got bored with the second half, giving it 3 carats. The next thing that I finished was The Grinch Takes a Vacation by Katie Van Dorn. She's quickly becoming a favorite illustrator author of mine. This is the 3rd book of hers that I've read. Essentially in this, everybody's talking about taking a vacation, and the Grinch doesn't know what a vacation is, so he's like, I'm gonna go see what all the fuss is about, and he does, and it's kind of adorable, but also grumpy. It's just a good time. I'm pretty sure I gave you this 5 carats. This was also one of the first books I finished, like book 2 or 3. Next up is The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley by Melissa Marr and Jen St. Ange. Jen St. Ange can do no wrong. The art, immaculate. She can do no wrong. I fucking love her work. So essentially in this, Harleen gets wrapped up in some trouble, gets transferred out of Gotham. She and Ivy are dating, and she feels out of sorts. She needs to make money so she can get back to Gotham, get back into school, continue her gymnastics, like the whole 9. So when this company talks about they'll pay you for clinical research, she signs up, and it essentially splits her personality in half. So you get Harleen, and then you get Harley, and shenanigans ensue. I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 carats. Loved it. The next thing I finished was The Sad Ghost Club, Book 1. Volume 1, it's called Find Your Kindred Spirits by Liza Meddings. Loved this. Essentially, it's about some ghosts who have anxious, swirling thoughts, and they find each other, and there's camaraderie. It's very, very adorable. Gave this 4.5 carats. The next one is Upside Down, A Hat Full of Spells by Jess Smart Smiley. This is the sequel to Upside Down. I'll insert it here, something about vampires. I didn't like this one as much as I liked the first one. And a lot of things happened that I just wasn't a fan of. I gave it like a 2.53. The next thing I finished was An Exquisite Corpse by Penelope Bajeau. I actually interviewed her a long time ago when her new book Brazen was coming out, which I have over there on my shelf. I like her art, but I wasn't a fan of the conclusion to this. I gave it 3 carats. The next thing that I want to talk about is Space Battle Lunchtime, which sounds ridiculous, but was amazing. All three of these were either 4.5s or 5s, but essentially you follow a Earth baker who gets wrapped up in an Iron Chef space competition, and there's intrigue, there's mischief, there's sabotage. It's great. It's cute, it's funny, it's witty, it's gay, it's a good time. It's sapphic. The last thing I finished was No Cats in the Library. There it is. By Lauren Emmons. I absolutely love this. I found this online and didn't know that it was like a children's book. I thought it was like a graphic novel, but it was so cute. I do not care. This is Clarice. She's a cat. She loves books. She can't read the squiggly lines, but loves the pictures. And when she discovers that there's a whole building full of books that people can go in and like investigate, she tries to, but the librarian tries to keep her out. So it's all about her journey getting into the library, finding a book that she loves, and so forth and so on. Very cute. Give it 5 carrots. Now, this is my first DNF of the year. My first DNF of 2025. So annoying. I know what this was about, but judging off the cover, it looks like something I would be interested in. So I made it 11 pages in this before I DNF'd it. 11 pages. Misogyny, homophobic slurs, just incredibly foul language for no reason, and like repeated over and over and over and over again. And now keep in mind, I DNF'd this at 11 pages. 11 pages, my guy. So that was fucking annoying. Now we can talk about what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading The Private Eye by Brian K. Vaughan, Marcos Martin, and Muntza Vicente. It looks like this. This collects issues 1 through 10. It's about a, like, journalist, but he's, like, undercover. So he's kind of like a private eye. And he lives in a world where they're, like, dangerous and underground and illegal. I'm only a couple of pages in, but it's very interesting. I'm also working on a couple of things. So the next thing that I'm working on is Coup de Grace by Sophia Ajram. No Hope, No Exit. Looks like this. So it looks like this. It's super short. It's written in verse. It says a poem in blood and concrete. But essentially it's about this guy who is on his way to commit suicide, and then things happen that will either stop him or push him towards it. I'm not very far. I'm like 21 pages in, I think. But it's interesting so far. I'm trying to branch out in what I'm reading, so I decided to try something different. And then I'm currently in a buddy read with Sarah, and we are reading Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. The main character I am not a super fan of. She's not the most annoying main character I've ever, like, come across, but she's pretty up there. But essentially giving me Lisa Frankenstein vibes. Girl goes to Italy to find this missing, like, vase, this mythical item. She comes across the guy who made the journal, the historic, like, document that she's going by, and winds up bringing him back to life because he was a statue. And together they go on the hunt to collect all the shards to get this vase thing. It's very much giving enemies to lovers. It hasn't gotten there yet. It needs to hurry up. But it's okay so far. For a YA, it's not shabby. I'm 40% in, so I'm enjoying it enough to keep going. I haven't DNF'd it or anything. I have decided that 2025 was going to be the year that if I didn't enjoy it, if I wasn't enjoying it, I'm not reading it. Life is too short. People out here acting crazy. Shit is on fire. Like, life is too short. If I'm not enjoying it, not doing it. But yeah, so here we are, counting my DNF. We are at 15 books for the year, and I'm pretty proud of myself. One book, there are a couple books that I didn't mention. I think like four books that I didn't mention because I don't have them physically. So I finished Agents of Suit from Badger to Worse, which I own. It's the first book of the year that I've completed that I own. So we are off to a great start. I gave that 4.5 carats. It was essentially about the other team, the B team, and they're like badgers, I think. They were cute. They go on like a island adventure. And then I read the next Investigators, which is called Class Action, and they like go back to school to stop a like a mascot from being kidnapped, I guess. It was okay. I gave it 4. And then the first full-length novel that I've completed this year so far was a parody. It was called Confessions of a Teen Sleuth by Chelsea Kane. I gave it 4 carats. Essentially, it's about Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew is a real person, and her crazy college roommate started making up stories about her and sold them as if she was fictional. And she's been trying to, like, sue ever since. But she actually is a teenage sleuth. So, like, it goes through her life as she solves mysteries. I didn't find it as funny as everybody was saying it was. It had its moments, but it wasn't like laugh out loud. I did enjoy it. I wasn't a fan of the conclusion, but it didn't bring down the score too badly. So I did enjoy it. So you have now gone with me through all of the books that I've read this year, all of the currents that I'm working on, and now let's talk about the future. So originally I had a book club called the Blue Stocking Bunnies, and it was on Fable. However, Fable does a lot of AI, and I am not a fan of the way that they handle diversity with their AI, so I'm no longer using Fable, and I'm no longer using Goodreads because I want to stop giving Bezos so much of my money. So I have switched over to Storygraph because it's women-owned, black-owned, and their AI use is very little. So over there, I've created a new book club called The Bubblegum Detectives, TBD. Yeah, I'm cute. I'm fucking cute. It's okay. We're gonna read horror, thriller, graphic novels, and mysteries. I have not chosen a book for January, seeing as this was a pretty new switch, but I am going to have a book for February. So if you're looking to join the book club, the link is down below. Make sure that you join so that you're updated when we choose our book and so forth and so on. And then I also moved websites. So the website URL is still the same, theinkbunnie.com, but I completely rebuilt my site and it's hosted by Ghost now, which is taking some getting used to because I've been on Squarespace for a very long time. But I like it so far. So the link, as always, is in the description box. Make sure you go check it out. And I think that's all I wanted to tell you. I finally wanted to book journal, like scrapbook journal. So I bought a dotted journal to write in, which is like my first time ever because I've always been a line journal girly. So I did like a little journal spread for the new year. And I'm very new at this, so they're going to be ugly for a while. Just bear with me. So I've got a page for, like, monthly favorites, and every month that I have, like, a favorite book, I'm going to put it up here. And then I made yearly goals. So my year goals are to read 80 books for 2025, to read 25 books that I own, to sell 10 books on Pango, and to read 3 translated novels. So those are the goals for 2025, and we're doing pretty well so far. We're at 15 books for the year, and we have already read one book I own, so there's only 24 left. So yeah, I think that's everything. And I'll see you again soon. I'm Gabs. This is Theinkbunnie. Peace out. Catch you later. Hi. Welcome back. I'm just popping in real quick because I finished another book. I finished Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. I gave it 5 carrots. It was Immaculate. It was a buddy read with my friend Sarah. It's a YA romance about a girl who feels a lot and is kind of made fun of for being like the girly girl, too emotional, too like concerned about how she appears versus how she functions. And she is chosen to join this like historical archaeology trip in Italy, and she is there to find the vase of Venus, and she has this like journal, and it turns out that the journal belonged to an actual person. And when she follows the directions from the journal to end up in the lair to get the vase, she finds a statue of a beautiful boy that matches the picture that was in the journal. The statue comes to life, becomes the boy, and together they decide to attempt to re-get the treasure. Together they learn to trust each other, to work out different like options and opportunities in order to get what they want. And it was so good. It was action packed. There's lots of like action scenes. There's a little bit of romance. It was just a good time had by all. 5 carrots. I finished it in like 4 days. I cried at the end of it. Like, it was so good. I immediately went back and got her other book, A Library of Shadows, which I'm currently reading now. I'm only a couple pages into that. But it's essentially about a girl who gets accepted to her father's alma mater, and there's some spooky stuff going on. It's just a good time had by all. I haven't really popped in a while, so I just thought I would do so. I'm currently reading that, and for 2025, we are at 16 books. I'm so excited to see where our reading journey takes us. I do believe I talked about the book club last video, the Bubblegum Detectives. Our first official book choice will be for February, so if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments down below, and make sure that you join the book club on Storygraph so you don't miss out. And I'll see you next time. Bye!